Good morning. I'm Dr. Ashokan from Thakur Dental College. I'm going to present a topic on types of swellings. Normally, after coming inspection, palpation, you have to come for diagnosis of swelling. Swelling could be, these are the following types. First thing is the congenital swelling. Congenital swelling. What is congenital swelling? Those swelling present from the birth and does not increase in size. It remain as it is. It is formed at the time of birth. It doesn't increase in size. There is no inflammatory signs like uh, pain, and not interfere is the normal function. Okay. First picture shows congenital aplasia. Okay, it's a benign tumor seen in the alveolar mucosa. Okay, it's seen at the time of birth. Okay, and another one is a lingual thyroid gland. Okay, these two are the example for congenital swelling. Next, developmental swelling. Developmental swelling is not seen at the time of birth. It's seen after some months after birth. Okay, it it grows slowly until the growth spurts or growth of the structure stops. After that, it will be remain. Okay? This is the developmental swelling. Is a tumor-like mass developing during the developmental period, and it will shows abundant growth of tissue. After growth period is over, automatically it will stop. The growth develops from the embryonic tissue native to that site. Okay. Example: Torus palatinus is a bony swell protuberance seen in the hard palate. It could be like these following types. It could be like flat or lobular, it may be lobulated or spindle type, or it could be nodular. Then Torus mandibularis is a bony protuberance seen in the lingual aspect of premolar. It's seen in the alveolar mucosa. These are the following types of Torus mandibularis: unilateral, solitary, or bilateral solitary. Mostly it will produce bilateral solitary. Then after that, unilateral multiple or bilateral multiple. Then bilateral combined. Then hemangioma. Okay. Hemangioma is a neoplasm of vascular tissue. It produces like purplish color or slight reddish in color. Then traumatic swelling. Patient history of swelling after trauma. That is the traumatic swelling. It may be very short duration or it may be short duration. And swelling is associated pain and it could be associated incised wound and laceration. It is a traumatic swelling. Like road traffic accident, it will produce traumatic swelling. Next, inflammatory swelling. Most of the patient coming to our dental office with inflammatory swelling. What are the signs and symptoms patient give? Sudden onset of swelling preceding with the pain. When you're asking the history, patient gave clearly pain starts before the swelling develop. Okay. Then after that, you have to check the exact location, all the things. This is the example of inflammatory swelling. This is a dentoalveolar abscess. Normally, patient have decayed teeth or obtrusion tooth or abraded tooth or non-vital tooth. It will produce dentoalveolar abscess. Then this is the acute silidinitis of the parotid gland. Okay, it will shows the swelling seen over the earlobe region. Here is the here is the okay here. Then slightly elevated elevation of the earlobe. Okay, is a well defined or ill-defined swelling in the preauricular region. This is cellulitis. This is a Ludwig's angina. What is cellulitis? It's a spreading subcutaneous inflammation. Then normally cellulitis origin from a dental origin, that is a odontogenic origin. Ludwig's angina is one type of cellulitis that is seen in the that involve the submandibular sublingual space infection, and its patient have difficulty in breathing. Is both the things have emergency management. Both these conditions need emergency management. Next, these are the common intraoral swelling seen from the odontogenic origin, arising from the odontogenic origin. Periapical abscess. Already I told periapical abscess could be dental caries or adhesion, abrasion. Then non-metal tooth. Here is a decayed tooth. It will produce swelling in the periapical region. This is a purulence. What is purulence? The periapical abscess. It will drain out in the. It will perforate the cortex. Then it will drain out in the mouth. It will produce swelling in the alveolar mucosa. Then gingival abscess. It will produce in between interdental region. That's a gingival abscess. In periodontal abscess, tooth have recession and pocket formation also seen. Then it will produce abscess in the periodontal region. Then patient coming to allergic reaction. Patient gave history of sudden onset of swelling. Patient was normal before the day. He developed swelling suddenly. When he woke up, he developed sudden swelling and itching over the swelling. Itching present over the swelling. It could be allergic swelling. This picture shows angioneurotic edema. It could be any food allergy or drug allergy. You have to ask the proper history of allergen and then ask the patient to avoid the allergen next time. Then cystic swelling. Cystic swelling is a slow growing swelling and mostly asymptomatic. Okay, when it's infected, it will produce pain. This is the radicular cyst seen over the palate. This is a non-vital tooth present. This is a periapical cyst or radicular cyst arising from this non-vital tooth. This is the case of dentigerous cyst arising from the impacted supernumerary tooth. Then benign swelling. Patient gave history of slow growing swelling. So it could be benign swelling. Benign swelling may be fibroma. Okay, fibroma like this or papilloma like this. Fibroma, when you palpate the swelling, it could be foam in consistency and color of the swelling is slightly pearl in color. Then papilloma, there is a cauliflower-like projection or finger-like projection. When you are palpating the surrounding area, it could be indurated or any other benign swelling like lipoma, like this. Okay. Then malignant swelling. Patient gave history of rapid onset of swelling. Okay, rapid. So that is the salivary malignant tumor of salivary gland. Malignant tumor of minor salivary gland. This is a malignant melanoma of palate. When you are seeing the patient, these are the following types of the swelling. You have to ask the proper history and clinical examination. Then you have to come for diagnosis of correct swelling and you have to tell the treatment plan accordingly. Thank you all.